Tonight on Team Voodoo Adventures, Jude and the gang are chauffeuring South Louisiana royalty. We're showing festival queens the true nature of hunting and self-reliance. Chasing hogs in the soggy marshes along the Louisiana coast. And harvesting waterfowl with our friends at Swamp Ox 2. All that and more next on Team Voodoo Adventures.
What do you think?
If you remember the first episode of the season, we showed you an amazing hunt in Arnaville, which involved using a coordinated pack of dogs to find and subdue wild hogs. We were led on this expedition by none other than our brother from another mother, White Beanie. This hunt was very successful, even though I had to take a dip in the potage. Well, White Bean planned another adventure for us, running his hog dogs. But this time, we're on his stomping grounds. Well, it's more like sploshing grounds, since it's smack dab in the middle of the coastal marshes of South Louisiana. Believe it or not, but the hog problem here extends all the way down until you run out of Louisiana, and there's only Gulf of Mexico left. While there is some, but not nearly as much agriculture happening in these coastal areas, there is a ton of properties trying to maintain a healthy marsh white-tailed deer population. These guys thrive in this environment because in some areas, virtually 100% of the land provides perfect cover for them to feed, keep cool, and stay out of danger. But they can't do that if an exploding pig population comes in and destroys everything, driving out the deer, pushing them further inland. So old White Bean assembled his posse and invited us to witness the madness that is chasing hogs around in the marsh.
This is what I was born and raised in, you know?
This crap?
You learn to walk that. You know, once you get used to it, you get a little wet.
We asked if it was okay to kick it up one more notch and bring the Cracklin Festival Queen along to bag her first hog as well.
Ready for the action this morning?
I am.
Awesome.
I'm excited.
You gotta introduce yourself.
I'm Michelin Russell, the 2017 Cracklin Festival Queen.
Awesome.
And I'm Jude McKay, host of Team Voodoo. The more the merrier in White Bean's book. The K9 team was geared up and excited for the day's hunt. We fitted the gang with GoPros to capture a first-person perspective of the hunt. Can you picture yourself in this situation?
Pig was cutting across right there. I knew we were going.
Give me a fist bump. Chasing hogs in the marsh is an extremely tiring activity. For one, what you're stepping on is not exactly solid ground. Instead, it's flooded wetland with a lot of floating, rooted plants. So at any moment, you could take a wrong step and plunge up to your neck in marsh muck. Marshes provide a habitat for many species of plants, animals, and insects that have adapted to living in these flooded conditions. The plants must be able to survive in a wet mud with low oxygen levels. Many of these plants therefore have parenchyma, channels within the stem that allow air to move from the leaves into the rooting zone. Marsh plants also tend to have rhizomes for underground storage and reproduction. Familiar examples include cattails, sedges, papyrus, and sawgrass. Many years ago, a couple people thought it was a good idea to release a couple hogs out here, and they didn't know that the population was just gonna skyrocket like it did. Now there's a problem on their hands. Hog hunting is a new form of summer, spring hunting. If it ain't deer season and duck season, you go kill them hogs. That's what I'm told. Well, it was another successful day and another crazy adventure with white bean.
South Louisiana. This is the bottom. There ain't no more Louisiana that way.
Michaelin not only got her first hog kill, but her first several hog kills, and couldn't think of a better task for the Cracklin Queen to help out with than assisting us in managing the overpopulation of these delicious creatures with which we derive these cracklins.
That was exhilarating.
Do it again?
Yes, absolutely.
All right, let's go.
Coming up after the break, the Queen's reign is not over yet. This time we're taking the Duck Festival Queens, you guessed it, duck hunting. All that and more, next.
Well, for those of us that work in the energy sector, these people probably recognize something right here called a valve. But we actually got our store doing much big items, from Caterpillar motors, heat exchangers, really large items. Size really doesn't matter when it comes to preservation with our material that's proprietary. There's no chemicals, no hazmat, no cleanup involved. Once again, we can wrap anything from the smallest item such as valve to the largest item you can think of.
Josh, tell me exactly where the need came from for Protec itself.
Well, many years ago, our owners were actually working in West Africa, and obviously the weather there is an issue, corrosion's an issue, but there was a mudslide. Millions of dollars of tools were ruined, and one of the guys said, hey, we can wrap this thing up like a Slim Jim.
Go ahead and tell me a little bit about this material.
Okay, what you see here, Jude, is a true moisture barrier, aluminum backing, all stuff. It is proprietary. It's a Protec Defender. And what that means is it'll hold the vacuum indefinitely. And so once we actually purge the inside of this container that we make any size, and get all the oxygen, all the moisture out, it's gonna hold the vacuum indefinitely. And this tool, 5 years from now, when you take it out, it's gonna look just like the day we wrapped it. So right now, the process basically begins by a piece of material being cut to fit whatever size tool that we're gonna preserve today, Jude. In this case, like I said, it's a valve. We actually heat seal the material together, and that makes a true moisture barrier. Once he's done sealing the material together, we're gonna purge inside that container with nitrogen. As I said, get all the moisture out. Once that happens, he's gonna vacuum seal it all up, and then that item's gonna be preserved indefinitely. It can be stored inside or outside. It's basically climate control in a bag. So basically, the concept here is to use nitrogen to evacuate all the air that's in that bag, all the moisture. The same can be done with difluoroethane, also known as canned air. And what he's doing now, Judy, he's gonna take the heat iron, seal it up while simultaneously still pulling a vacuum, and that just ensures that the item's vacuum sealed tight.
All right, guys, they just sealed this thing up. They took all the humidity out, all the oxygen out. This thing's gonna last for years without rusting. Next time the crew's gonna come for this piece of equipment, they're gonna open it back up. It's gonna look like the same day it's gonna look just like it did right now.
That's right.
Guys, y'all go ahead and stay tuned. Check out Protec Defender for more of their products.
So you guys have recently started dating?
Yes. A little less than a month.
Coming up on 2 months now, yeah.
Cool. I want to show you guys these 3 Chevy SUVs. The first one is called the Trax.
Beautiful.
Do you think it would be good for moving in together?
Moving in together?
Okay. Well, this is the Chevy Equinox.
Wow.
Nice.
Perfect for when you 2 have your first kid.
Give me some time.
Okay. This is the Traverse for when you have your 5 kids, 2 dogs, and 1 cat.
Oh.
5?
Well, no matter what stage of life you're in, Chevy has an SUV for you.
We have it all planned out. Thanks.
Hardco Equipment is proud to be a sponsor of Team Voodoo. And to all you Voodooites out there, we want to offer a special deal. 5% above cost on any UTV, any tractor, or any trailer. And that's only for you guys, the ones who are outdoors, just like Hardco. The team here at Hardco Equipment is proud to be a sponsor of Team Voodoo. And remember, when the only road is no road, it's Team Voodoo and Hardco Equipment.
We've been working closely with the Festival Association this year to help not only promote, but educate these budding minds in the traditions of our ancestors and why these festival celebrations exist today. Most people who aren't from South Louisiana may think we only celebrate Mardi Gras, and that is one of our biggest celebrations of the year. But in truth, we have a ton of festival celebrations throughout the year, each specific to a natural resource, be it animal or plant, that made life here in South Louisiana possible during the initial settlement of the region. We'll dive much more into all the great festivals to check out next season. But today, we've got 2 Guédon Duck Festival queens itching to harvest their first waterfowl. We couldn't think of a better place than our friend Pat Hardy's lease, where we were last episode, to give them a great idea of what hunting duck is all about.
That one's hit. Y'all hit that one for sure.
I think I
Reload if you shot.
How many times you shot? 3.
Come on, damn.
Dude, get it.
I'll let you go.
Left. Left.
Mac. Fetch him up, dead bird.
Left, dude. Yep, keep walking. There you go. That's where I last saw him, headed that way.
Oh, yeah. Nice. What do you think? That's some teal.
I thought it was bigger than that. That's a blue-winged teal.
Oh, it makes it again.
Dude, don't tell me we dropped one bird out of that.
No, there was 2.
Well, that was exciting.
Yeah, that was a beautiful shot.
Put 2 more. It's just normally whenever you get 18 birds, you get more than one.
morning we're out here in Upper Henderson. We're in a pond we just named Queen's Pond because we're actually here with the Duck Festival Queens and the Duck Festival Team Queen.
Where'd they go?
Lacey and Miss Carly.
They're in there somewhere.
They're in there somewhere.
Y'all can pop up.
Hey, ta-da! Man, it's been pretty exciting this morning for a little while. We had a good little bit of fog. We got a couple really quick shots, but of course y'all know it's hard to film in the fog. A couple mallards been working this morning. We had a couple flocks of grays come in. We're just waiting to see what the rest of the morning brings us as this fog's gonna burn off here. Y'all stay tuned, we're having fun. And them girls ain't stopped smiling yet.
I will. But whenever I do. Court. Which one did you
That's
want?
original, Jude.
Yeah.
That's a pretty duck, man.
That's a
You want all
beautiful
the
duck.
baby?
That's what I thought it was some pintail this morning.
Yeah, you said that.
The girls had an amazing time and got some great prizes too. These gals didn't hesitate to dive right into cleaning the ducks and preparing them for a great meal. Speaking of meals, which of these versions of duck do you prefer? Skin on or skinless? If you're watching this on YouTube, let us know in the comments section. If you're not watching this on YouTube, take a second and go subscribe to our page, and you can see all our other episodes too. Keep up with us on Facebook and Instagram too. I am but the humble pauper amongst the royalty of today, Jude Mike. We hope you enjoyed yet another Team Voodoo adventure.